Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys, hey, 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 hey.
Hello, foodie booties.
Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Potato, and welcome back to our channel. And today, I decided to return to Chantal Marie, Chantal Show, the Daily Chantal, Foodie Beauty, Floppy Bobby, Big Beautiful Me, Chantopolis, Chantal Al Rafe, Chantal period. The one and only Foodie Beauty, because, well, a few reasons. One, because Amberlynn was out here saying all this stuff about, like, the queen of girl world and who has the crown, some, like, months old, maybe at least a year-long old, like, silly little feud amongst people who watch Amberlynn and Chantal, and they were talking about who has the crown and this, that, the other. Amberlynn returned to that, and also Amberlynn returned to, like, enjoying Chantal or something, allegedly, despite previously saying that she doesn't like Chantal, so there's that as well. Either way, it kind of inspired me to return back to Chantal. We're getting into a little more often than once a month, because I think the last time I reacted to her was a couple weeks ago. And I think just because we were talking about it yesterday, and I even mentioned, like, Chantal's lucky to get 11,000 views on a video where she finally comes out and admits that she has diabetes, it just kind of made me want to go see what Chantal was really up to. Now, I did watch the video where Chantal came out and said that she had diabetes. And it was interesting because well, I don't know, interesting, maybe. I guess it might depend on who you are. But I thought it was interesting because she was really echoing a lot of things that I remember her saying whenever I first started watching her, before she ever was with Salah in Kuwait, before she ever even dated Nader. She was in this weird place of, like, doing mukbangs all the time, but also claiming that she was gonna be able to lose weight and solve all of her ailments then. Now, back then, she had some specific ailments that she was going through that were not diabetes. Her and Amberlynn have both always consistently, like, stood by that they don't have diabetes, which is fine if that's what their doctors tell them. I don't know. I'm not their doctor. I've not looked at any of their lab work. And if I had looked at their lab work, I wouldn't know what any of it means. However, Chantal used to always do this thing where she was like, I'm going to cure all of my ailments by dieting and changing what I eat, and then ultimately never changed what she ate. And what I thought was interesting is she got this whole, like, little glucose blood testing strip thing, and she tested herself and her blood sugar was high, so she went to the doctor. What for? I have no idea, because she said, well, I don't want to take any medicines without first trying to change my diet, because that's going to change everything. Which, with diabetes, to my understanding, it does play a big part in it. It does. But also you can take medicines and stuff like that to help out as well. So I just thought it was interesting that she's going to do that. And then if you don't watch her channel, the very next day she uploaded, or maybe it was even the same day, she uploaded a video that was like, here's what I eat in a day at almost 400 pounds. And the things in question that she was eating was like 3 corn on the cobs with a near entire stick of butter. Like, literally the picture showed a plate with 3 corn cobs and a stick of butter. She had some kind of cobbler, she had chicken tenders, she had mac and cheese, she had some kind of beef stew. I mean, she was really eating it all that day, which is her prerogative to eat whatever she wants, but it was an interesting juxtaposition from the video she had just posted, which was like, I need to do something. But I think her point of view was another thing that she and Amberlynn used to do all the time is post videos of, like, what I eat in a day off track. And it was very much giving what I eat in a day off track. And she even talked in the video, she didn't call it that, but she even talked in the video of, like, I needed to see this to know that I need to make changes. So that brings us to what we're gonna watch today, which is a video that she titled Day 1 of Trying to Reverse Type 2 Diabetes. And the thumbnail says, OMAD and weigh-in. Now, if you don't know what OMAD is, it's a specific diet and it stands for 1 meal a day, meaning you're only going to eat for 1 meal and you'll be fasting the rest of the day. And I just think that this particular thumbnail is also interesting, and or that she's doing OMAD, because it's looking like she's setting it up so she can keep doing mukbangs. Like, I feel like her whole desire to do one meal a day, because it's something she's tried before and has failed at before. Her whole desire to do OMAD is because in her head, she can keep doing mukbangs, which is primarily what her channel has been lately. But I think it's interesting because in the 2 previous videos that I was talking about, she didn't mention OMAD at all from what I recollect. And I did just watch them through again on 1.5 speed before I got here because I wanted it to be fresh in my memory. And I don't recall her saying like, oh, my solution is gonna be that. So I'm curious how we got to there, and I'm curious to see if she's going to explain that in this video. Because the only thing she really talked about doing in that video, or in either of those videos, well, the first video she was like, I just need to cut out all the bad stuff. And it was like very nondescript. And then by the end of the second video where she was showing what she ate in a day, she was like, I need to cut out the carbs and the sugar and things like that. So we'll see if that's what she's gonna do. I'm just curious to see what kind of like pseudoscience advice she's not taking from her doctor, this, that, the other, that we're gonna get from this video. I will say, and we probably won't make it to it, but she also does have a video out called Walking Exercise at Al Kout Beach in Kuwait. Sorry, this is my first time reading that word ever, so my apologies if I didn't read it right. And the thumbnail says walking is hard. I don't need to sit and watch her struggle to walk. I think we can all imagine what that looks like. So anyways, let me just stop rambling and let's get to, shall we?
Hello, foodie beauties. Hey there, Beezers. Hi guys, welcome back to my video. Bismillah. This is my dinner I made. I've been fasting for 14 hours. I did a weigh-in, so I'll insert that here. Okay.
I am so curious about the fasting thing concept. I do know that it works for a lot of people. I'm just like, again, it feels like her reason though for doing it is so that she can eat a high number of calories in one video. But let's see what her weigh-in is like. I'm just curious. I have no concept outside of, I think she said that she's close to 400 pounds in one of those thumbnails or something like that. I have no concept for what weight she has been, especially since she's been in Kuwait.
So I'm gonna weigh myself, and for the weird haters, the scale is very basic.
Does it? If it's not the hello, it's ready scale, I gotta be honest with you. I don't trust it in girl world. If it's not the hello, it's ready scale, I don't trust it. Unless you're using that like car part one that Amber Lynn used to use. Like I'm not trusting a scale that's not one of those things.
There's nothing on it.
Okay.
Where I can mess with. That button is for kg or pounds.
Okay.
The battery, and that's about it. So yella. I have not eaten yet today.
She said, y'all conspiracy theorists of the world, listen, she can show that scale from head to toe. She can show every little part of it. And there's still going to be people out there who are like, nope, you rigged it. You were touching a wall. You weren't standing on it evenly. It doesn't work in general. It doesn't go up to people your size. This, that, the other. I mean, I'm sure somebody's already found where you can buy that on the internet and has done all the research of all of the things that that comes with, like all of the, what is it called? Attributes? I don't know. That's not the word I'm looking for. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they've gone and done the research already, I'm sure.
Fasting about 14 hours now. So, yeah.
Girl, you respectfully, in the most respectful way possible, you are just standing here. Why is your breathing so loud? It concerns me. I hope you're taking care of yourself.
Alright, time to turn it on.
Also, what is the pattern on this scale, by the way? Like, why are there just randomly 5 diamonds and no seemingly logical pattern.
0. I have my abaya.
Uh-huh. We got them feet covered. Probably for the best. No free feet.
Okay, 164.5 kg.
Which is 362.2 pounds. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
So, yeah. That's what I weigh. Like I said, I've been fasting for about 14 hours, so
okay.
That's fasted.
I also
took my blood sugar reading, so I'll insert that here.
I think the thing about fasting for folks like Amberlynn and Chantal is I'm like, what are you doing with all of your day? You know, like, I just imagine that it must be hard to fast because if you're not doing anything to keep yourself busy all day, like, it would be hard not to think about food, you know? Like, I just can't imagine that they specifically wouldn't be spending a lot of time thinking about food because what else do they do in their day? That's my question about it. But if you really are fasting, good for you, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I think I would also feel better about her fasting as a concept if it was like in consultation with a doctor. But she just went to a doctor and she didn't mention anything about that doctor telling her to do it.
So this is my fasted blood sugar for today.
Okay.
The time on the monitor is wrong. It's not 8:09 p.m.
Sure.
I'm gonna have to definitely change that somehow.
People probably won't believe her about that. People are always looking for that. I remember the last video I did was reacting to her making the elotes at 5 in the morning. And people are like, it's not 5 in the morning. Did you see the time that was on the stove? And I was like, no, I'm not typically paying attention to that stuff.
So yeah, that's a fasted blood sugar reading and a fasted weigh-in.
Okay, what are we eating?
And this is my dinner.
It's some
chicken
yogurt.
Breast. It's a halloumi chicken. So it's some roasted eggplant. Just eggplant with about a teaspoon of olive oil mixed between each slice. And some seasoning, very lightly salted. Chicken breast with some seasoning.
How does she have like this lunch tray looking situation type of deal? Like this elementary school lunch tray? I've got a lot of questions. This also looks, well, honestly, the eggplant looks seasoned, but everything else about this looks dry and boring.
I baked it in the oven with some tomato, black olive, and halloumi.
Okay.
And that's about an ounce crumbled up. I have 1 kiwi, some raw unsalted cashews, and a low-fat plain yogurt. And I have 2 waters, and that's what I'm going to eat. Probably all I'm going to eat for the day. Because I have to, like, lower everything very drastically, very quickly.
Okay.
Because, yeah, you guys know if you watched my videos yesterday. Honestly, it's made me a little bit even scared to eat, if I'm being quite honest. It's weird.
I don't anticipate you're actually scared to eat, but I am confused because I didn't hear, like, I'm just like, where did this all of a sudden, this, like, drastic come from? Because in the videos yesterday, she just said, like, I just have to eliminate the bad things. And this is like par for the course, I think, with Chantal when it comes to changes in her diet and stuff, is she goes to the extremes for seemingly no reason. I don't know that, like, not eating all day and just eating one meal is going to suddenly, like, solve all the problems. Like, I think making some more realistic, long-lasting changes might, though.
Alright, let me try the chicken. I hope it's cooked.
I'm not a doctor. What do I know? I don't know.
Looks yummy.
And
juicy.
I just personally want to live in a world where, like, people don't feel the need to go to this extreme. Even Chantal, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to live in a world where, like, even if you have health problems, your immediate response isn't to, like, I have to drastically change everything, meaning I'm going to fast for 14 hours and only eat one meal a day.
It's cooked. That's good. Bismillah.
Girl, you didn't even finish the last bite of chicken before you spooned that yogurt into your mouth. I'm curious what that taste is like, what that combo is like.
That's really good.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's clearly how she intended it, because she just dipped that eggplant in the yogurt. I didn't realize yogurt, I guess yogurt's used sometimes in like sauces and stuff, but I never really thought about just like plain yogurt as a dip for savory foods. That's interesting. You learn something new every day. That's an interesting little tip. Little life hack there.
Eggplant could be cooked a bit longer.
Oh no. Well, thanks for the review.
I have some salted jumbo barbecue flavored cashews in the room.
Oh yeah?
They're now solos. Can't eat those anymore.
I'm curious though, again, I guess maybe I need to go back and watch those 2 videos again, because I don't remember her saying like specifics about what she could and couldn't do. Like, why is all of a sudden the like salted barbecued flavor cashew off the table? I mean, granted, like I'm guessing that probably has, again, like sodium, other preservatives, things like that. But like there's also probably worse things you could eat too. I'm just thinking about how we consistently, if you go to her channel, you consistently see her posting like fast food mukbangs and things like that. Like, even just not doing those would be probably like a decent change. But I don't know. What do I know? I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense out of nonsense, I guess. Maybe like a smaller bite would help. I don't know, maybe. Like that piece of chicken she just ate like barely fit in her mouth. And it's slaying me. I don't know if I've ever paid attention to this particular thing before about her eating, but it's slaying me that she's just like still in the middle of chewing, especially because it was that particularly big bite of chicken. She's still chewing and she's shoveling in some yogurt to mix up with it while she chews. Don't you just love that visual in your mind?
The purpose of this is not really just mukbang, it's just also just to talk to you while I'm eating dinner.
Sure. Sure. Justify the mukbang however you'd like, Chantal.
I'll probably be eating a lot of stuff like this.
Bet. Bet. Let's see.
Some kind of OMAD.
Some kind of OMAD? Isn't there... There's generally only really one OMAD. There's only one way you can eat one meal a day, right? Because otherwise it's not one meal a day. She just said the point of her doing this was so that she could talk to us while she ate her dinner. But I gotta say, there's a lot of silence. In fact, I'm probably gonna cut a lot of it out in editing, but there's a lot of silence. What talking are you doing?
So I'm probably gonna eat like very low carb, no processed carbs at all.
Okay.
No sugary drinks, just water.
Okay.
Plain tea. Maybe an Americano if I want to drink, but no sugar.
Okay.
Until, I want to get everything under control.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
These are really ripe. So I want to do intermittent fasting. I want to give my body time to deplete some of the, glycogen stores? I used to hate on keto. You know what it is? It's the dirty keto.
No.
But I understand the idea of eating low carb if you're diabetic,
Girl, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what she's talking about. Dirty keto, this, that, or the other. I'm just like watching her eat, and it's just like some of the things are right in front of you. Like that was a huge piece of chicken. I was like, how are you fitting it all in your mouth? I'm just thinking from like a logistics point of view, to be honest with you. Nothing else. Like, I'm not, like, this is obviously a very low carb, seemingly healthy meal. Like, no judgment there, but the way that she just eats such big bites, which I have to feel like is somewhat also for the mukbang of it all. Like, I think that is a thing that the old mukbang general audience sometimes enjoys, but ooh, it's just wild to me. And she's already got the yogurt on deck, right, ready to go mix inside of her mouth with that chicken.
So I apologize if I just sounded really know-it-all before with that.
With what? With keto? Has she done keto in recent history? I think she did. Again, I'm not the Chantal expert these days. If you're looking for an expert when it comes to Chantal and the nonsense on her channel, I'm not it. I'm just like one of those fair weather viewers, right? Like, I just come by when I feel like I might be compelled to watch, and it's okay with me if I don't have all the details. You know, sometimes you all probably have TV shows like that, right? Like, I don't know, what's a TV show you could probably go in and out of pretty easily? Like a Law and Order SVU. If you've seen one episode, you've seen them all, and you can kind of tune in and watch whenever you're interested. And maybe you might not know everything, but it really doesn't matter. That's how I feel with Chantal. And I don't know what she's tried with keto before in the past, but I'm sure it's just like any other thing that she's ever tried. She didn't give her all. And in fact, she said that in the I Have Diabetes video, that she just like has never really actually tried anything, and she just knows if she just actually tries something and commits to it, she'll make it happen. I'm giving this like a couple days max before she rages and before she like goes back to eating fast food and mukbangs and stuff like that. It's also not surprising to me again that she does not have the crown of Girl World. Like, people are like, Amberlynn is so boring. Have you watched a Chantal video?
I'm really starting to love plain yogurt.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. You love plain yogurt so much you gotta make it not plain by mixing it up in your mouth with that chicken.
So I'm thinking of meals, very simple, but nutritious. That's the whole point, you know, especially of like OMAD.
It's so true.
And if I really need to eat something, again, something nutritious, high in protein, low in sugar, maybe like a tuna or a piece of cheese, a drumstick, something like that.
Okay. Oh, she did have tuna in that one video. It was like in a bowl, and it was like almost like she was trying to make her own tuna salad in a bowl. It had like mustard and mayo with it.
To do more? Hi! So yeah, things like maybe a hamburger patty, lean hamburger patty, some cheese, grilled onions, mustard, big side of like broccoli, veggies.
Okay, let's go. Let her cook.
I like to eat nuts, especially cashews.
Love eating nuts.
I find that they're very filling.
Eating nuts is such a time-honored pastime that I love participating in. I gotta be honest, not convinced she's enjoying this meal. I've watched her eat a lot of food in my lifetime, and by lifetime I mean I've only been watching her for the past like 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. I've watched her eat a lot of food, and she has yet to show any of the telltale signs of Chantal liking food. Her face has showed no joy, no enthusiasm over any of the things that she's eating. In fact, she had to describe the plain yogurt as, I'm finally starting to like plain yogurt, meaning she doesn't really enjoy it, okay? That was a convincing that face. It's giving, I hate this. It's giving, I hate this.
So I'm hoping to be consistent with this method for a while.
We'll see. I'm giving it a couple days, Chantal.
Solo and I will probably go out for a walk on the beach.
Oh, that's the video that I said that she posted that I haven't watched.
Chicken's very juicy with the tomatoes cooked on top. If you guys have any... I should start a group somewhere so we can share recipes and things like that.
Who's out here sharing recipes with Foodie Beauty? I just know that's asking for some trolls.
Very juicy, delicious chicken. I'm glad I made this. Halloumi chicken. I'll post the recipe for this in the description box.
How much time we got left? There's still 5 minutes left of this video. She really said, the reason I'm doing this video is so that I can talk to you all while I eat my dinner. Girl, you haven't said anything in probably the past 2 minutes.
Remember that old saying? Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. Scratch that.
That's fucking toxic.
And say, nothing tastes as good as healthy feels.
That's also still toxic too. That's all such
because you're skinny.
That's all such toxic like ways to think about food. It does not feel like a healthy way to think about food because also the reality is that you can eat delicious things and be healthy. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't care about Chantal. I think I've made that apparent in terms of, like, as a human, I think she is not good, not great, whoever, whatever, okay? But in general, I want people to be able to live in a world without, like, that kind of toxicity, right? Because the reality is that, like, there are ways that you can eat healthy, that you can have things that are nutrient dense, good for your body, and taste delicious. And this, like, concept that, like, nothing tastes as good as healthy feels or skinny, whichever one. Both of those are just, like, really toxic and, like, I think promote people to feel really bad about themselves when they enjoy food, when they enjoy food that tastes good. It's silly, and I don't want that for anybody.
I was really depressed earlier.
Okay.
I was like, never gonna get to eat pizza. I know you're thinking you shouldn't restrict yourself that much, but right now I have to. Like, I can't even have things in moderation because it's not just about weight loss anymore, it's about health. And I can't eat things that will...
Hasn't it always been about health? I'm very confused about that as a concept because as long as I've watched Chantal, she's literally always had some kind of health issue that she has proclaimed could be helped by her eating better and or losing weight. So I think it's always been about health. But also what also continues to be confusing to me is that I think a lot about how, like, a lot of this could be solved holistically, right? Like, she could be taking medicine and also changing her diet, changing her lifestyle in smaller, less drastic ways, right? Like, I've been thinking a lot while I sat here in silence while she nommed away on this bland-looking chicken, and I've thought a lot about how, like, she could be making changes still and also, you know, getting to some of the immediacy of her issues by just starting to take some medicine. Because she mentioned in that video about having diabetes that she didn't want to take medicine until she gave, like, just losing weight through changes in diet and things like that a try. And I don't understand what the avoidance of the medicine is. Like, I mean, there might very well be a good reason and I'm just not aware of it. But I think if it were me, I would want to do everything in my capabilities to change where I was at, which would include medicine and, like, a change in lifestyle, diet, exercise, whoever, whatever. So I feel like she could do some things in moderation and make smaller changes, less drastic changes, if she would just give it all a chance.
Spike my blood sugar because, like, I'm literally on the verge of, like, literal health crisis. So I really need to be very diligent, even if it's something that depresses me, even if it's...
But if you're on the verge of a health crisis, then why would you not take a doctor's offer of, like, prescribing you medicines and things like that? That's my point. That's like, if it's at that level, why not take everything or use everything that you can in your arsenal, in your toolkit, in your resources? That's what doesn't make sense to me.
It's something that almost kills me. Because in reality it won't. It's actually good for me, and I just have to keep telling myself that.
Sure.
It's just something that has to happen. There's no way around it. And it can be very depressing at first, because when food is like, when you use food to cope with things, and you take that away, you have to find whole new ways to cope.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I should really just be, like, turning to Allah and to prayer and everything.
Sure, whatever it takes.
So I'm going to try to do that.
Whatever it takes.
And,
I as she's talking about being depressed about the, like, I'm never going to be able to have pizza again kind of a thing, I think from an outsider's perspective, I'm sure for her in the moment, that is, like, the most life-shattering, life-altering thing. But I think from an outsider's perspective, I'm able to think a little bit more logically about it. And I'm like, it's either not have pizza anymore, but continue getting to live a life where you do eat other delicious, healthy things and enjoy a life with your alleged husband, this, that, the other. Or it's not get to have pizza and, according to you, also not get to live. Because the reason you're not getting to have pizza anymore is because you're not alive from a major health crisis. I mean, maybe that's just thinking a little too logically. Although I'm sure, like I said, for her in the moment, in the situation, I'm sure it's more complicated than that. But I'm just using her own words and language to describe the I guess, dilemma she's having and the depression she's experiencing.
Have faith in God, have faith in myself, have faith in this plan. And I want to thank you guys for all your supportive comments, because...
that wasn't me, so I won't accept that. Thank you.
They were mostly all really nice and positive.
Good. I'm glad that they were.
On top of that, just a lot of them were constructive. So yeah, I really appreciate that. It's encouraging, you know? What really also keeps me on track is thinking of the future.
Okay.
If I keep eating the way I was and not doing any exercise, I don't really have a future. I don't have a good future.
That's what I was saying.
If I lose weight and get healthy, regain my health, I have a whole new life I didn't get to live before. I can do things I've never done because of my weight.
Sure.
So we can go to all the carnivals.
I am curious about this because, you know, a stance she's taken in the past, I mean, even maybe as recently as when she went to Thailand, was like, oh, I can do all of these things despite being my size, my weight, my whoever, whatever. And so it's fascinating to me now that she's like, well, if I want to be able to do all these great things, then I need to be making some changes, which I think is what some people have told her in the past. But I will say, she is somebody who's persistent to go do a bunch of things in the world in spite of the people that tell her she never will, i.e. going to Thailand, i.e. going to Kuwait to marry Salah, i.e. going to Cuba back in the day. So, you know, she will put her mind to it just to say fuck you to the haters.
I still don't like some of the rides, but some I will go on. Just because I can. We can go to all the booths. I don't have to have anxiety about going to restaurants. All kinds of things, you know? So I'm just being really strict at first because of that. And I will always have to be strict and really mindful of these things. I realize that because slipping up is so easy. You know, all it will take is like one bologna sandwich, for instance. On
Well, I think that's why, like, I don't understand why you don't take some help in the form of like medication, in the form of all kinds of things that could help you make smaller changes that can last a lot longer than this like crazy 1 meal a day situation type of deal.
White bread with chips, and I know that will cause a spiral. So I have to really be abstinent in a lot of ways, unfortunately. So.
All right. Well, let's
So
get to Chantal.
And see how that goes. It's not going to be a huge meal, but it's going to be very nutritious, nutrition dense. I think I should maybe also take a multivitamin or something as well. All right,
okay,
guys.
Sure.
I think that's it.
All right.
Bye.
See ya. Adios. You know what, though? Whatever. She's got to do whatever she's going to do. I'll just occasionally tune in to watch. But what I have to say is, there ain't no way that Chantal Show, Foodie Beauty Flobby Bobby, is the queen of girl world over Amber Lynn Reed. I just have to say that, and I'm glad that I'm still correct about that, to be honest with you. I'm really glad about that. Anyways, that's all I got for today. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did and you're brand new to my channel, make sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video over here. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I had so much fun today, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!